catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome to Transition News on Atlantic Television Network. First, the headlines. Police arrest 16 persons for murder. Obaseki raises Edo workers' minimum wage. Reps hold retreats on economic reforms. And discos explain reasons for electricity tariff hike. World's tallest woman dies at 77. Mr. Macron slams Wizkid for shading Don Jazzy. NFF appoints Finidi George as Super Eagles coach.
Every day our lives are
I have fought a very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
And now to the rest of our stories. River State Police Command has announced the arrest of 16 persons in connection with the tragic death of Inspector Christiana Erekere, who was murdered in the line of duty on April the 25th, 2024. According to preliminary investigations, and all individuals involved will be apprehended and brought to justice. Analysts have stated that the Nigerian army structure is too rigid to fully utilize.
Mining and refining of report are coming in. Do you understand it? Right? Based on the principle of stare decisis, so there will be order in the society. Now, if the foundation of this order is wrong, you are getting nowhere, just like what happened in Supreme Court recently. Supreme Court is not ordinary court of law, it's also a court of policy. But a situation wherein the court system can be muzzled and turned into a facility or a structure that is being used manipulatively for the purpose of oppression, suppression, and repression.
For space, he said during the struggle, the tanks collided sideways and caused products spilled from the ruptured part and ignited the fire that claimed lives and consumed properties worth billions of naira. Said that the personnel of the Federal Road Safety Corps deployed in the scene controlled traffic and created diversions through Oyibo as alternative routes.
Is to check tires, whatever, you don't have driver license, then they pay you money, allegedly pay bribe and then continue their way. Is that their role? People should be taught how to handle emergencies like this, awareness.
support and for the vote of confidence passed on him and his administration. The Delta State High Court sitting in Ephraim has arrested cultists and kidnappers. In a statement by the command's public relations officer, ASP John Team 4, on local government area of the state, following credible information to the command. The suspects include one Godwin Adam, 35 years, Isaac Samuel Bassi, 25 years, Emmanuel Hansen Isong, 29 years, and Victor Usoro Eire, 35 years of age. He added that the suspects confessed that they were members of the Black Axe confraternity and added that they were also involved in the murder of one Kufre Usoro. The command also recovered ammunition such as an English pump-action rifle, one shot magazine machine gun, one locally made pistol, and 11 rounds of 9mm of live.
Even the traditional rulership should have
heads for insubordination in a bid to restore peace and order. Some unidentified gunmen have killed a pastor, even as the police have rescued 4 abducted victims. In Cross River State, the abduction happened on Sunday, while the police rescued them the next day, Monday. Police PRO in the state, SP Irene Ubo, confirmed the incidents to journalists, adding that those abducted were many. Ubo added that the pastor was killed during the attack, while another victim was receiving treatment at a medical facility in Ikom in central Cross River State. Findings show that as a result of the incidents, both committees of the main opposition People's Democratic Party, Dr. Cosmos Ndukwe, has resigned his membership of the PDP. This is contained in a letter written by the former Deputy Speaker of Abia State House of Assembly to the chairman of his Item C ward in Bende local government area and copied to the state chairman of the party, Honorable Asiforo Okere, and the acting national chairman, Umaro Damagun, respectively. The former chief of staff to the governor and commissioner for works under ex-governor Oke's over 50 high-target wax Hollandiers rappers were abandoned by the suspects, shop burglars who fled upon sighting the police. Okoye assured that efforts are being made to arrest the fleeing suspects and bring them to justice. We'll be back shortly after this break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. On the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happening ATN.
welcome back to Transition News on Atlantic Television Network. And now to the rest of our stories. Lagos State government is planning a 3-day international conference in response to the rising incidents of fire outbreaks in the state. State Commissioner for Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations, Gbenga Oyerinde, disclosed this in a statement issued on Monday and made available to our correspondents. Oyerinde said that the conference would be organized by the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations under the auspices of the state government. He added that the Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration is committed to the safety of lives and properties in the state. "65 Battalion of the Nigerian Army operating under 81 Division have successfully apprehended one Mrs. Olushola Areke following actionable intelligence in connection with human trafficking in Lagos." Army spokesperson, 81 Division, Lieutenant Colonel Olabisi Ayeni, confirmed this in a statement on Monday. Ayeni said that the suspect was accused of kidnapping Mrs. Foyoke Kunle, a 22-year-old daughter of Mrs. Aino Kunle. Ayeni said that in response to the alarming report, the army troops reached out to Mrs. Areke, offering to entrust more people to her for job opportunities. Ayeni urged members of the public to continue to support the army in providing timely information to aid and maintain law and order. Senior secondary school students of the Nigerian Navy Secondary School, Imeri, in Osel Council area of Ondo State, Jethro Onose and his father, Maliki Onose, have been abducted by suspected gunmen along the Edo and Ondo Road Highway. Sources said that the victims were abducted on Monday. A family source told newsmen in Akure that the villagers have raised a search team to help rescue the victims. Contacted the state police spokesperson, Fumilayo Odunlami, confirmed the ugly incident. Odunlami said efforts are on to rescue the victims and from their captors unhurt. Ahead of the July 20th, 2024 local government elections in Ebonyi State, Governor Francis Nwifuru has assured that the imposition of candidates will be vehemently resisted. The governor, who stated this during a church service at the government house chapel, promised that a level playing ground will be provided for all aspirants. According to him, the stakeholders and people at the grassroots will participate in choosing credible candidates that will represent them. Nwifuru stated this during the Holy Mass held at the new government house, Centenary City, Abakaliki. This was contained in a statement signed by his chief press secretary, Mr. Monday Uzo, on Monday. He used Salahu and Ademu Elugoga were attacked between Egba and Ogbaolu communities in Agatu on their way from an event around 6 p.m. A cousin to the deceased, Napoleon Otache, who confirmed the incident, lamented that Agatu is currently under siege. Otache decried the lack of security presence in the area while the attackers continue to unleash terror on the land. Meanwhile, concerted efforts are being made to confirm the incident from Benue State Police Command. PRO SP Catherine Anene proved fruitless. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has said that the completion of FCT road projects is in line with the promises made to residents of Abuja FCT. And the minister made this statement in Abuja over when he carried out a routine inspection of the ongoing road projects in the Abuja city center. This inspection was aimed at making sure that the contractors are doing their jobs in order to meet up-commissioning deadline of May this year. Abuja correspondent Joseph Moses completes this story.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Barrister Nyesom Wike, has said that the completion of the FCT road project is in line with the promises made to residents of Abuja. The FCT Minister...
And now we're here in 20. You can see it's almost 98 or 99% ready.
The Minister also said that the projects were about 98% complete and commended the contractors for keeping to their promise to deliver the project by May this year, giving assurance that other ongoing projects in the FCT, including Wuye Interchange and the Guzape Lot 2 district infrastructure, were on course to be completed and would be ready for commissioning by May.
I want to thank all the companies by keeping to their words. They promised us that all these projects will be commissioned by May. We believe by the grace of God, all those who have until then, and that's why we are doing everything we can to complement all his efforts. He's given us what we require to do our job. So we are very happy. Even if you give us the kind of support he gives to us, even if you say 3 months time, we are not support. And you can go. So we are very happy. I cannot tell you the cost offhand. So that you won't quote me that said it is 1 naira, then why it is 10 naira. So I don't know how much of that, but before the commission, we address the press and let you know when these contracts were awarded and how much it was awarded and what we have paid up to now. So
Judicial Commission of Inquiry set up by Governor Abba Yusuf to probe his predecessor, Abdullahi Ganduje, on Monday, April 29th, had its inaugural sitting. During the sitting held at the High Court, Audu Bako Secretariat Kano, the chairman of the commission, Justice Farouk Adamu, said that the commission was inaugurated on April the 4th to recover misappropriated public properties and assets. He gave May 29th, 2015, coming up in a few days. The chairman said that the commission will review the sale, disposal, and allocation of all government-owned properties, institutional buildings, including school buildings and government hospitals, praying grounds, and historical and cultural sites, and monuments and graveyards, and other land or spaces within Kano urban area or other urban lands in other parts of the country belonging to Kano State from May 29, 2015 to May 29, 2023. Kano State House of Assembly has passed a bill for a law to compel intending couples to undergo HIV, hepatitis, and sickle cell anemia screening before marriage. The passage followed deliberations in the Committee of the House during the plenary session presided over by the Speaker Ismail Falgore on Monday in Kano State. After deliberations, the lawmakers approved the third meeting of the bill, and read by the Deputy Clerk Nasiru Magaji. Following the passage of the bill, the majority leader of the House, Lawan Hussein, stated that any person intending to marry shall first submit self for medical examinations. He said that the bill was considered and passed after the third reading following various legislative processes. The leader further said that the bill was passed because the states had been battling with different health issues, including HIV, because people do not go for marriage counseling and medical screening. That the bill, when signed into law, would save many lives and the spread of life-threatening diseases. The Ministers of Power Adebayo Adelabu and the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission on Monday appeared before the Senate Committee on Power for a one-day investigative hearing on the need to halt the proposed increase in electricity tariff by 11 successor electricity distribution companies amidst the biting economic hardship in the country. The chairman of the committee, Senator Yinaya Baribe, raised the question of how customers were migrated from previous customer classes of residential, commercial, and demand to different bands. Baribe requested to know if the band classification was under the provisions of the law. He also raised more questions on how the parameters differentiate between the regions and areas, citing a portion of the act was highlighted for the need for non-discriminatory distribution. The development comes on the heels of the recent increase in electricity tariffs for consumers in the Band A category by NERC. The Commission had increased the tariff paid by Band A customers from 68 kilowatt per hour to 225 naira per kilowatt hour. And moving on, the House of Representatives will on Tuesday, April the 30th, commence a two-day retreat for members on major economic laws, policies, and programs of the federal government, especially under the administration of President Bola Tinubu. The retreat has economic transformation and development towards effective implementation of the Petroleum Industry Reform Act 2021 and tax reforms modernization as themes, with the sub-theme Navigating Change and Legislative Strategies for Economic Transformation. A statement signed by the Special Advisor to the Speaker on Media and Publicity, Musa Abdullahi Kerisha, said that the President Tinubu is expected to declare the retreat open, while the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, will serve as the host. The statement said that the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, was the chief host, and the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barao Jibrin, and Deputy Speaker of the House, Benjamin Carlo, are expected to speak at the event. Others expected to speak include the Group Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kolo Kiari, Executive Rad Adrenal Sitcom, suspended Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele on Monday challenged the jurisdiction of an Ikeja Special Offences Court to hear the alleged abuse of office and multi-billion-dollar fraud leveled against him. Olalekan Ojo, who led other counsels, appeared for Emefiele, while Mr. Kazim Badamosi appeared for the former CBN governor, co-defendant Harry Isioma Omoy. Ojo, on his motion on notice dated April 24th, argued that the lack of constitutional jurisprudence to hear the charge against Emefiele, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Council led by Rotimi Oyedebo, however, urged the court to dismiss the application for the First Defendant's Counsel as it was a cause to defy justice. Oyedepo said that the approach was intended to take up from where the prosecution was coming from. According to him, a collective resolution as a nation is to prevent the undue delay in criminal matters. Federal Capital Territory High Court on Monday slammed 10 million naira fine on the Economic and Financial Crimes Commissions and 3 others for fundamental rights violation. Other respondents in the suit are former EFCC boss Abdul Rashid Bawa, a former officer with the agency Callistus, and Fidelity Bank PLC Justice Peter Kekemeke slammed the cost on the respondents when he delivered the judgment in a suit filed by Michael Kondera for enforcement of his fundamental. Kekemeke held that the respondents violated the applicant's fundamental rights by arresting and detaining him from May the 15th to May the 16th, 2023, without charging him to court or releasing him on bail. He added that a 75-year-old man should not be subjected to such treatment. The judge also ordered the respondents to pay the sum of 2 million naira as cost for the action. Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court in Abuja has issued an interim order empowering the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to freeze about 1,146 bank accounts belonging to individuals and companies. The EFCC claimed that it was investigating the affected accounts over allegations of unauthorized dealings in foreign exchange, money laundering, and terrorism financing. Justice Nwite issued the order in a ruling on the ex parte motion by EFCC lawyer Ekele Iheanacho. The judge equally ordered the EFCC to ensure that its investigation is concluded within 90 days. He adjourned till July the 23rd for the EFCC to report on their findings. National Institute of Policy and Strategy Studies, in the collaboration with Brute Custode Government Affairs et al. Limited, hosted a 2-day practices and sustainable development in mining industry in Nigeria in Abuja. The program promises to reform policies and regulate framework for the sustainable mining development, create sustainability. It will also leverage technology to provide infrastructure for supporting modern mining operations, human capital development, and capacity building for adequate internal workforce.
One of the fruits of the collaboration between Precosto and NIPS is this brainstorming session for stakeholders in the mining industry in Nigeria. We are optimistic that today's gathering marks the beginning of what will be a series of fruitful collaborations between the two entities, aimed at advancing different sectors in Nigeria. Furthermore, we are actively pursuing partnerships, including an ongoing collaboration effort with the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, further underscoring our commitment to driving sectorial growth and development.
Currently, Nigeria does $475 billion. How can we get to $1 trillion in the next few years? Now, for me, next few years is 5 years. Can we get to $1 trillion? And for us at NIPS, we thought of it, and we said, if we are even going to be near it, we need to identify the critical sectors of our economy that can deliver on that promise. We cannot overbeat the petroleum sector because it has done its own. We believe that the petroleum sector has contributed most of the $475 billion. So we need to charge other sectors in order to be able to get the
Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, Engineer Abdullahi Sule, who declared the event open, appreciates the Minister of Solid Minerals Development for putting up the summit that addresses mining development in Nigeria, as it is the next means of Nigeria's economic growth.
Nigeria is blessed when it comes to solid minerals. And indeed, solid minerals is the way to go. The minister has said so much about so many things that I wanted to have said. Lithium is the direction to go. And to give you just a flashpoint, the Honorable Minister was here in Nasarawa State just a few months ago, to be part of the groundbreaking of a factory. But before I mention the size of that factory, he just mentioned to you again that Mr. President is coming to commission the biggest factory so far in Nigeria that is going to be processing 4,000 metric tons of lithium a day, transporting to over 1 million metric tons of lithium a year. And that is just in one location in Nasarawa. And as if that is not enough, we are now beginning to see another site that has even bigger amount of lithium than even that one that will be doing 18,000. This is how much Nigeria is blessed. And I just mentioned to you, when it comes to the oil, Nigeria has less than 40,000 barrels per day. By the time they finish all these onshore, in Nasarawa, in Gombe, and the one coming up in that, Nigeria will end up with roughly about 50 billion barrels of oil reserve in the country. But when you come to this particular industry in mining, this is where to go. Because I'm just telling you, in one location, this is in one state, this is what you are getting. By the time you go to so many other states, Osun, Kwara, Ogun, and the rest of that. I was in Dangote when we started the issue of cement. Initially, Nigeria was importing all her cement, and Nigeria then was consuming less than 20 million tons of cement a year. Now, Dangote alone has the capacity to Ebeke, to Obajana, and to Benue, has the capacity actually to produce over 25 million metric tons of cement from the limestone in Nigeria, from the sand in Nigeria, and the rest of that. What is that? Pure solid mineral development. So just like the minister, I can go on and on, which I don't intend to do. Therefore, with this...
In a speech by the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Henry Dele Alake, said the value addition through industrial processing and reduction of raw materials is the best way to mining development due to multi-economic multiplier effect by generating employment, remediation efforts, and revenue gross domestic products.
Value addition through industrial processing of extracted minerals and reduction of export of raw materials. This particular part of this 7-point agenda is very dear to my own heart. Without a critical path of local value addition in the application, no more. And I have already started to implement this. So whoever is interested in applying for mining license in Nigeria should think that there must be plans for local value addition. We are only interested in local value addition because of its economic multiplier effect. It generates employment, it creates all kinds of remediation efforts, and of course you cannot underestimate the overall impact.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
beyond the line, across the ocean, to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara. We bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay